Hey guys, it's Steph at Allen Acres, and today I'm excited to share with y'all the part 2 series of our trip to Montana. Hi, my name is Stephanie. I am a mom of 7 and I homeschool. We live on a small 5-acre homestead in a tiny Texas town where we pick farm fresh eggs, milk our goats, and make as much food from scratch as we can. We love spending lots of time outside, learning new ways to live a healthy life, and enjoying all the good things God has given us. Here I'll share about parenting, homeschooling, homesteading, family favorite recipes, and testimonies of God's faithfulness. If you enjoy a tight-knit family, real life moments, and the pursuit of a joy-filled life, you're in the right place. I hope you'll join me on my journey to a happy, healthy home life. For those of you that are new to my channel, I'm doing a 3-part series on a cross-country trip that my family and I took just recently. We went from southeast Texas all the way up to northern part of Montana, just about 70 miles from the Canadian border. So it was a big trip. We had a lot of fun. Last week I shared kind of the prep packing process that we had getting ready for this trip. This week I am sharing just the trip itself, the footage I got from the things we got to do, and next week I'll be sharing a pros and cons video. So pretty much all of this is just going to be our trip. I did not stress over trying to get a video of anything and everything. I did put it in chronological order, but beyond that, I didn't document every single little thing. But what I did document, I'm sharing with you today. And I hope that you will enjoy the views and the experiences that we got to have as a family. We had so much fun. There were some ups, there were some downs, but overall, it was such an amazing trip. And we are so grateful to have those memories with our kids that we know they and us alike will not forget for the rest of our lives. We are at our first stop, and before this trip gets too far into itself, I'd really like to give y'all a little tour of the bus and how I figured out to make it work for a family of 9 being on a bus this size for 2 weeks. So come on with me. Okay, so coming in right away, you can see that we have lots of stuff down there. That's magnets and a few Cheerios left over that I didn't get to sweep up. And some games to play, markers and other things. We made kind of a mess today traveling. Down here, these are really cool little cubbies that have little bungee cords. But this has toilet paper, extra toilet paper, laundry stuff, and some cleaning supplies. This next one is pretty redundant, same thing, the rest of our laundry stuff, some grocery sacks, trash bags, paper towels. This next one is coloring books, books for the kids to read / look at, and some other little sticker water wow activity things. And this up here is our first aid kit with first aid stuff for boo-boos, but also lots of homeopathy. Hanging right here is all of our hiking backpacks. And for now, the 2 people that will be sleeping on the sofa and the blow-up mattress, this is their bedding and their belongings now that we have stopped to rest. We have these cool little shelves up here. This is my little list of what to do so we're not doing screens the whole time. This is some little games my mom gave them and some books we're reading right now as a family. Some of the older kids, things that they brought. Board books for the baby, some water bottles, and more big kid devotional things. A basket of bread and chips and things for lunches that obviously get strapped down. In this top drawer we have goodies. This is gummy bears and some adult yummy treats down below, and lots of Ziplocs. Cooking stuff, some coffee grinder, measuring cups, a pot, some rice, and some einkorn flour for cooking. And then down here is the catch-all for like bungee cords, straps, batteries, binoculars, zip ties, random tape, you know, random supplies that you need. Coming back over here, I had to get pretty creative finding a place for shoes for 9 people in a small space. So this is all of our hiking boots. These are the older kids' shoes down here. Obviously some of them are missing at the moment. Littler kids' shoes are up here. And then I have a shoe bin in the back that has the rest of the shoes that did not fit there. This is a table that folds out. And then here I have this tote down here on the bottom is the tote with all the snacks. And then this tote without a lid is like paper bowls and plates, plastic cups for juice and milk, and a few other random things on top. Some bottled water for when we're traveling. This is our little kitchen setup. So we have our dish soap and scrubber. We brought our Berkey because we love it. We need our Berkey. And I have some dinner going in the Instant Pot. A place to put all of our spices. I'm gonna have to turn a light on back here so we can see better. This has hand towels, a knife wrapped up in here, and some utensils that I'll need. This down here has the little 2-burner stove, a microwave, and I can't remember, some other little, a toaster. Planning to use as much disposable stuff as possible to make my life a little easier. That's all that. Another roll of paper towels that can be currently used. Some birthday plates and decorations for the birthday boy. Some canned goods we'll need over the next couple days, and extra spoons and forks. Down here is bigger kid stash of peanut butter pretzels, a shovel apparently that folds up, and some cookies that we made that somebody left open. Lovely. Okay. And then you can see salt and pepper, spices. I also have some gum stashed up there. This is pretty cool. So this little thing here, this is actually the bathroom. There's a little toilet rack for toilet paper. I hung our Swiffer that I'm using to clean the floors from a hook in the ceiling, and there's some stools that my friend let me borrow to go with the table. But this little majigger will actually close off here to give the people in the back or the front a little bit of privacy. So that's nice. So we have that option. The bigger kids the teenagers are sleeping up here on the sofa. It folds out into a bed, and then we have a blow-up mattress that one of them is actually thrilled to be sleeping on. This is a shower area that we'll use sparingly. There's actually a compost toilet. The works of this bus, you're not able to use this toilet while you're traveling. So this is like an emergency use toilet for when we need to go while we're driving only. This is not all aesthetically pleasing. This is literally about function for 9 people for 2 weeks. So these are beds, bunk beds, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I have my little kids on these. Each bed, they have room for their pillow, obviously, a stuffed animal. Their blankets are folded up. And then I let them each have a basket that fits nicely at the end of the bed to have any special belongings that they felt were important for the trip, outside of what I had packed them, of course. So there's room for all 4 of them. Then over here, this is where we'll be sleeping, and a little makeshift area for the baby. I know that this looks like a lot of stuff in one space, and that's because it is. For me, if I just keep it organized, it'll be fine. I can make it work for a short time. So this has toiletries in it. This has overflow toiletries and like my personal items, and important books that I wanted to bring. That's my sweaters and sweatshirts. I had to get pretty creative figuring out how to fit all of our clothes. My devotional stuff in my Bible, pajamas, underwear, bras, socks. This is the baby's pajamas, socks, and some shirts. So basically almost half of his clothing, his little Bible we read to him at night, and the sound machines. You'll see the rest of his clothing in a minute. Now this area actually goes back like double. So this is diapers, wipes, all things related to that. And then there's a second one that is holding my husband's devotional and all of his undergarments and things like that. And then here we have pull-ups, extra diapers, and oh so important, dinosaurs. Down here on the bottom, we have all the extra shoes. My husband and I, I'm so sorry, I know the lighting is not great here. Extra shoes for my husband and I. This is all my shirts and long sleeve shirts, short sleeve shirts, tank tops, and flannels that I'll be wearing on the trip. And then there's another bin that has all my shorts and pants. So that's kind of nice that like double like books bins, you know what I mean? And this was all, these cubes were all things I got from my house. So of course they don't really match, but they're just things I was able to empty out and use from my house. So I wasn't having to spend money on things that I'm only gonna be using for 2 weeks. Over here, again, had to get pretty creative. Okay, so I'm gonna show you this part and then I'm gonna take some stuff down and show you it. But this is just for function and traveling purposes. So these are all my husband's shirts for the trip that I was able to hang in this little area right here. If I put them on wire hangers, they all fit. Got this towel rack from home for us to be able to hang our towels on once we use them. Nobody showered yet. This is my backpack I'll be using, a hammock, and what is this? Oh, a trash bag for dirty clothes. Okay, behind the towel rack is this is the bin of the rest of the baby's clothes. Then I have 2 bins for each of my other 4 little ones. So 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. There's 8 total. I'm just going to show you the ones closer to the bottom because it's easier. So this is my daughter's. This holds like most of her undergarments, her shirts, her hoodies, and her, yeah, I think that's it. And then down here are her pajamas, her pants, and her shorts, and the sweats that I brought for her. So that was kind of how it is for each kid. This is a tray I brought for the kids to use to play Legos if they want, or driving so they don't spill out. We are stopped, so this is kind of disheveled back here, but this is the extra shoe bin, a car seat. There's a cooler back there. There is a tote with the rest of my husband and I's clothing. There's a tote or a basket with coats back there, a tote with towels and extra blankets, and baskets with the teenagers' clothes as well, and then just some other gear that we're going to need. The cooler's holding 8 gallons of raw milk and all the meat we'll need for our trip that my brother at Center Goss Farm supplied us. So we're so grateful for that. This is our house for the next 2 weeks, and we are grateful. It's small, and we obviously had to get pretty creative, but so far, so good. So after our first night, which was in Amarillo, Texas, we got back on the road, and within about an hour and a half or 2 hours of our drive, we actually had a pretty major blowout. 2 of our tires blew, and so we had to stay on the side of the road waiting for someone to be able to come help us. But just like the Lord always does, he took care of us. The enemy is trying to discourage us, but he put us in a spot where we were able to hang out. The kids were able to run around and play pretty safely without worrying about the traffic. That's the tire, well, one of them. And then we ended up being able to set out chairs and had a little picnic and all that. This is my husband coming up with a rock throwing game to help pass the time with the kids. We ended up being on the side of the road, I think, for about 7.5 hours. So we got to our next stop pretty late, but we were glad to be back on the road. We spent a night in Colorado, and then the next day we arrived in the Grand Tetons National Park in Wyoming. We were so excited. The kids were excited to have a place to run and play. There was lots of trees at our campsite, and it was really, really nice. We did pick a spot that allowed us to have a generator during the day, but unfortunately, some people complained that our generator was apparently too loud, so we ended up not being able to use our generator. So we were completely hookup free at this stop, so we had to get a little creative with staying warm, keeping our groceries cold, and also, of course, cooking and getting ourselves showered. Once we got settled, we walked down to the beachfront to Jackson Lake, and the water was absolutely beautiful and absolutely freezing. But that did not stop my kids from getting their feet in the water. They really loved it. They thought it was really fun, and most of them actually didn't even care that it was so cold. So we stayed in the Grand Tetons for 2 days. And after our hike, the first full day we were there, we promised the kids we would go back to the lake and let them get in the water.
Cold?
Abner Ray, is it cold?
I'm gonna go knee deep where Abner is.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my goodness!
Okay.
So just to help you understand, this water is literally melted snow that has come out off the mountain as runoff, and it's really, really, really cold.
Am I freezing?
Where's Charlie?
I don't want to go under.
Come on, Mark.
I don't know about this. Like,
Oh man! Oh, that's cold! Oh my gosh! Oh man! Yeah.
oh my gosh, I don't like ice. It's because it is ice.
Oh man, I'm red.
Science knows a light to go right. Can you say ice?
All right, Charlie.
Yeah.
Oh, you're getting Mama wet.
See, you have to have water shoes.
Archie, is it cold?
I should have brought my slides.
No?
Wait, I do have my slides.
No.
Check that, check that, check that. What is that?
So, after a very fun but long 5-day journey, we have officially made it to our destination. We are just minutes away from Glacier National Park, and we are so excited to be here and to get to like rest and enjoy the space. And all the little people are very happy and excited to not be in a car anymore. So this was a hike that my husband and I were really excited to bring our kids to, that we did together 2 years ago. And it was a place called Swan River in Big Fork, Montana. And the hike itself isn't really challenging. It's pretty much just a straight walk unless you choose to hike down to the river, which is pretty steep, as you'll see here in a second. But the river is really fun, and we enjoyed like rock hopping basically. I mean, I didn't really, but the kids did. And we attempted to try to keep them dry, but pretty much everybody was wet in some capacity by the time this was over, but nobody was mad about it.
Did that rock break? Yes. The one out there with you? Oh, it was it? Oh, man. It was a cool rock, too.
So after everyone was done rock hopping, we had to hike back up, which really it's very short, but it's just very steep and not necessarily a perfectly indicated path. I was also trying to attempt to record and hike up at the same time. And I was struggling with my weight in the front from the baby and a backpack on my back. So my sweet husband was helping me a lot. And I was just trying to also make sure everybody got up safely without falling. This is what most of our meals looked like while we were staying in Montana, and it was wonderful. So this was our absolutely favorite hike and the one we were most excited to take our kids on. It's a hike at Logan's Pass called Hidden Lake. It's in Glacier National Park, and our kids were absolute rock stars. This trail we're on now is 1.5 miles up and 1.5 miles down. And this is us up. Once we reach the top, you can see the lake that it is hidden, and they are playing with the chipmunks. This was literally an answer to prayer. I prayed that we would see wildlife, and the Lord came through. This is a small herd of mountain goats that we got to see that literally passed right in front of us, came straight down the mountain, and they were really cool to see up close. And we actually got to see them on our way back. They were still in the same spot, and we got to see them really, really up close. And I was surprised with all of the children we had, including a fussy baby, that we didn't scare them away. Okay, so now we have reached the top of Hidden Lake, and we have chosen to take a road that many people choose not to hike down to the lake, and it's a lot more challenging. So it's another 1.5 miles down to the lake. The down part isn't so hard. There's some slipping and falling you have to worry about. It's a pretty narrow trail, so we had to be careful, but we made it to the bottom, and the kids are having so much fun. They stripped down to shorts, and they're enjoying the very refreshing water. This is actually the coldest water we put feet in.
Under?
Sure.
But it's freezing. It's like so cold it feels like it's warm.
It's so cold it feels warm?
So cold it feels warm. Never heard that one before.
Like, it's like so cold it's literally burning my legs.
Oh, like needles?
It's like someone just... 2, 3.
Go.
Hey, jump in there. Go.
Just jump. Come on. Just do it. Calgary, fully.
Oh my gosh! How come you know? Mama!
All right, we're headed back up the mountain. Archie, are you ready?
Daddy.
You're not ready?
Dad, I'm away.
Are you cute? Can you say cheese?
Oh,
You're so cute. Yep. Are you on
oh
Daddy's
my
back?
goodness. There we go.
All right, here we go.
Daddy.
Making our trek all the way back up. All right, we are in the uphill climb. You can see people up there. That's where we came from, and that's where we're headed. All right, so we just finished a very long day of hiking in Glacier National Park with my whole family. We did a hike that a lot of people don't even do, and definitely don't do with kids. So I'm feeling very proud of everybody. I saw a lot of teamwork, helping each other out, and we're all very grateful to be sitting down in the car. But it was really fun, and we made a lot of memories, and we're so glad to be able to say we did it. So how does everybody feel? Tired? Hungry?
Sore.
Hungry.
So now we're gonna go get a famous huckleberry shake, because Daddy promised everybody when they were losing it, not losing it, but when they were tired, that he would reward them with a huckleberry shake. So now we're gonna go get one of those. So one of the days we were in Montana, we actually took the kids up to Whitefish, which is a ski resort really close up to the Canadian border. And during the summer, they have what they call an alpine slide, and you can ride the ski lifts up and do some like summer sports. And so we thought it would be fun to take the kids there. It's a really nice area, and we had actually never been, and so that was really fun. So we did the alpine slide, which was slightly anticlimactic for the kids that didn't weigh very much, but they still had fun. First time riding a chairlift.
Woo! Woo! Yeah!
So we are in a little tiny town called Harleton, Montana. We had another blowout, and it didn't go like the last one did. No one could come help us today, but we met some people here that are really sweet, and they can help us in the morning. We need a new tire and a new rim, so that's kind of complicated our situation. But Just like when the enemy tries to discourage us, God always comes through. We happen to be literally right by a little RV park that's attached to a public park. It was down a hill, so we were able to just roll our RV down and get down here. So we have somewhere to stay for the night. No water, but we have electricity and bees. There's a lot of bees here. And we're about to walk to a little restaurant. The weather's amazing. The kids have a park to play at. And we just have a little bit longer of a stretch to get to Colorado tomorrow. So we're making the most of another wrench in our plans. This is my boys playing at the pond area where we were staying that night. We ended up being in this area for about 24 hours, and it added a whole day to our round trip. We were also excited when we finally made it to Colorado Springs, where we stayed for 2 nights. And my kids thought the rock climbing at the Garden of the Gods was just absolutely amazing. And so they thought that was really fun to just like be able to run around and climb on rocks and see little caves and stuff. Very hot in the bus and it's very loud. We're about to exit for our house and we're all really, really excited.
But very hot.
Everybody say yay! Yay! So now we're back home. When we got home, it was so exciting. All of us came running in our house. We felt like our house was huge, and we were very grateful for everything we had. Not because it was a bad trip, but when you live in such a tiny space for 2 weeks with that many people, it just makes you so much more grateful for your own room, your own bed, your kitchen, all of those things. So it was a great trip, but we're happy to be back home. It's now been, as of this recording, it's been a couple of weeks, kind of getting back into the swing of things. It did take us some time to do that, but we are. And so next week, my plan is to share with you guys just some pros and cons of things that worked, ideas that I had that I shared with y'all, things that did not work, maybe things I would do differently, things I would do the same. I thought it would just be fun to kind of like evaluate the trip and share any tips and tricks that maybe I came up with, for any of you that may be planning a trip in the near future in an RV or in a schoolie yourself, with either just you and your husband, or you by yourself, or you with an entire gaggle of children like we did. If you have not already, please like this video and hit that subscribe button so you can be notified each week when I get out a new video on all things related to a happy, healthy home life.